Good morning, everyone. Today I would like to talk about micro level communication theory. What they are, what they matter, and how they help understand everyday communication between individual and small group. First, what are level of communication theory? In communication study, theory are often grouped by level depending on the scale of interaction. They explain micro level theory focus on communication between individual or within small group, how messages are formed, interpreted, and responded to. In contract, macro level theory look at large scale process, media, mass communication, society level influence, and meso level might deal with intermediate structure like organization or communicate, focusing on micro level theory and help to understand what happen in the small scale face-to-face communication, interpersonal message group discussion, how people create and interpret meaning. And third one is focusing on micro level theory help us understand what happens in the small scale face-to-face communication interpret on focusing on micro level theory help as understanding what happened the small scale. And why micro level theory are important. They address the building block of communication. Every large interaction, say a company meeting, a social media group, a public companies, and built from individual and small group interaction, and they help explain variability even if two group use the same language, rules, or channel. Micro level theory remind us that individual may interpret things differently based on their background, expectation, previous experience, and contact. They show how meaning is created. So, communication is not simply sending a message, receiving a message. People actively interpret, negotiate, and sometimes distort meaning, understate, and that process help us manage misunderstanding, build relationship, and improve communication. And third key example of micro level theory, here are three important theory or three theory type often placed at the micro level. First, symbolic interaction. This theory emphasizes that communication is more than word, it is about symbol and shared meaning. People use language, gesture, sign to create a shared understanding. And for instance, when two people greet, the gesture, tone of voice, content all shape meaning beyond the literal word through repeated interaction. People build a shared symbolic word Wikipedia. And number two, expectancy violation theory. This theory examines how people respond when their communication expectations are violated. For example, in person space, eye contact, tone, behavior, and in small group or interpersonal interaction, ABT help explain discomfort, surprise, or re-recognition, meaning when someone does something unexpected. And number three, affiliative conflict theory. Consider interpersonal need for intimacy was autonomy. We want closeness, but our independent communication often involve balancing those need. This theory help us understand novel to communication, space, eyes contact, posture, and how people regulate relationship at individual level. These are a few example. Micro level theory cover many more: cognitive process, interpersonal dynamic, small group communication, and more. How micro level theory help uses practice improving interpersonal relationship by understanding symbolic or interaction or effective conflict theory. We can better manage communication, be aware of expectation, personal space, non-verbal sign, and how we contract meaning. Conflict manage and negotiation when expectation differ, culture, background, and norm theory like EVT help as anticipate misunderstanding or discomfort. Designing small group interaction in educational setting, team project, or workplace. Now Now, knowing micro level dynamic help to structure communication more effectively, manage role, and improve collaboration. And last is challenge and issue. Subjectively, because micro level theory focus on individual interaction, meaning can vary greatly for person to person, making to hard and generalize. Complexity and real interaction are influenced by many factor: contact, culture, emotion, personal history, which make accurate prediction difficult in measuration. It is often challenging to me ensure throughout interaction and non-verbal quiz system. And conclusion, in some micro level communication theory are crucial for understanding and very score of human interaction, how meaning is created, shared, and transformed between individual or small groups. They remind communication is not just about sending a message, it's about interaction, contact, and human agency. Whether we talk face to face, text, work in team, or study small group interaction, micro level theory help understanding why communication succeed, fail, or become complicated. For any study communication, social interaction, organization behavior, starting with the micro provide the fundamental understanding.